I'm losing count. I don't know what episode this is.
You're
I think it's like 36, 37,
It might be
38,
37, 36.
pushing
We might be
40,
there.
right? This is the Figuring Shit Out podcast.
Sure.
I am Bunny Flacs. You already know what I'm about. You know my sites, bunnyflacs.com, loserperspective.com, silversyndicate.org. We got my boy, my homie, King in the building. What's going on?
Y'all know what time it is, man. Unify and Thrive. King Walker, Arthur in the building, man. Check out the site, the app and the construction. Hope we got a good episode coming up today, man. I did a little bit of background research on Ms. Watson, and she has some good stuff on her page and stuff. So I think it's gonna be a good one, Fox, man. Bring us in.
Facts. So our guest, Miss Krispin Watson, how are you doing? Real estate investor, real estate agent, and social media strategist in Alabama. How are you doing today? What's going on?
I'm good. First, thank you so much for having me on the podcast. But I'm good. Life is good. I'm excited to be here.
Thank you. No problem. So our very first question, we try to ask all our guests is, what was your figuring shit out moment? Whether it was something in career, personal life, an epiphany.
Yes. So I feel like my figuring shit out moment was when I was working in corporate America. I was working for a property management company, and
Okay.
I was getting paid $13 an hour. At this point, like, I'm a mom, I have kids to take care of,
Right.
and I have a whole mortgage and everything. But the real figuring shit out moment was when they hired somebody to come in and do the same exact thing that I was doing. They slapped another title on it and started paying him 3 times more than what I was getting paid.
Wow.
Now, at that point, I was like, I really got to figure some shit out, because this isn't going to fly for me. And I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, just be my own boss, because I don't like, having to go to a boss and say, hey, can I get some time off? Can I do this? I want to take a vacation. You feel guilty and, intimidated to go in there and ask for time off, although it's allotted to you. So I just knew I had to figure some shit out to get this shit going on my own. So here we are.
That's facts. And I feel like everybody hates asking, right, for time off or having to go get permission from somebody. Time. So I think that's mostly everybody. So that's pretty dope.
Man, I be hearing people, my friends tell me, like, bro, I had to ask for time off and they then saying they didn't give it to me. Like, what is that even? I have a job, right? We got the follow the teachers, but rarely am I told no. And they told me they got to know, and I was like, ooh, made you cringe a little bit.
Yes,
that made me quit. Like, I'm gonna go anyway, so y'all better figure it out.
That's facts.
Right, figure that shit out. So they had somebody else come in. They paid them 3 times the amount. Did you, at that point, is that when you left that establishment, that organization, and went for work for yourself, or went somewhere else, or did you stay there a little bit more and stay there longer and work out a plan, so to speak?
Yeah, I kind of figured out a plan. Of course, I started applying for other jobs. I actually ended up getting another job, so I left there. I would say probably about 5 or 6 months later, started working another job in corporate America, and they ended up firing me out of the blue. And I'm not the type of person that has ever been fired from a job.
Oh, wow.
I don't do things to get fired. And it was so crazy because this particular company, it was like a major credit card company that I was working for. And I worked in their collections department. So we would have calls to come in, but our calls were recorded. Our computer screens were recorded. So when they fired me, they tried to say that I was like cheating the system to get more on my bonuses, but I really wasn't. So I asked them, I was like, hey, since everything is recorded, can you show me the recording of the screen where I did this? All of a sudden, ironically, they didn't have any recordings. So I think what it was, I was maxing out at my bonuses. I was on a salary, but you had the option to make like an extra $1,500 a month in bonuses.
Right.
And I was maxing out every single month, and nobody else was doing that. And so I guess they just didn't want to pay me the money, because I said on average, people typically get about $200 to $400 a month, but I was getting my $1,500 faithfully every month.
Wow, so they're basically penalizing you for being extraordinary.
Absolutely.
And wow, that's crazy.
They're rewarding you and promoting you like they probably should have.
Right.
Wow. Okay. So Give us a little background about you in your current status, right? You're in a real estate. How long you been doing real estate? Is it your passion? Is it temporary? Is it something you're just using as a stepping stone to the next thing in your career?
I love doing real estate. In June, it'll be 3 years that I've been like a full-time agent, fully self-employed, working for myself. So I absolutely love that, just simply because I get to help people. Like I said, I was just working a job in collections, and to me, that has such a very negative undertone. Like I'm calling people all day, asking them to pay money that they know they owe. They're cussing me out on the phone,
Right.
hang up the phone. It was very stressful, but this is more peaceful. It's kind of, I've transitioned to where I can help someone become a homeowner that never thought that they would be able to own a home or something like that. But I feel like it is my passion. I feel like it's my ministry. But I do want to continue to work in real estate, actually being a realtor and running around the city showing houses. I don't think I want to do that forever. I more so want to get into investing and flipping properties full time, because I really do enjoy doing that.
So what's your background? Was like, how'd you get into real estate? Was it just like, let me try? Because I'm like, because most people have like a skill or a family member or like, they just seen it a whole lot. So how'd you really get into real estate?
Yeah, so the job that was paying me the $13 an hour, that was a property management company. So our main focus was renting out single family homes. So we didn't rent out apartments, we were renting out actual houses. And just seeing the process of working in like the property management industry kind of made me have a passion for real estate. And then my friend ended up getting her real estate license. And no
Nice.
shade to my friend or anything, but I was like, if she can get a real estate license, I know I can.
Right,
So
right.
let me just kind of see, what happens with this. And crazy story, after I got fired from the job right before I got into real estate, I ended up getting another job. And I
Nice.
worked there like 4 hours on my first day. And it just started bringing flashbacks. And like after lunch, I just didn't go back. I was like, you know what? I'm going to get in real estate school. I'm going to knock this course out. I'm going to focus. I had some money saved up at the time so I could do it comfortably. I won't advise anybody just jumping out there if you don't have some type of security net or safety net, because real estate is such a slow turnaround. Even like once you get a client, it could be 30, 60, 90 days before you see any money from that deal. So you just kind of have to be wise, to anyone that may be listening and thinking about just jumping out into real estate.
So you said you worked at a place for 4 hours?
Literally, I went in, it was my first day. Like they're
Yeah.
going through like the new hire paperwork. But
And
I'm
you went
here
to
like the
lunch?
phone. Literally, I feel like it was God, because they needed something like they needed to update my driver's license. I don't know, something doing with my driver's license. I don't
Right.
remember what it is. But they were like, "Do you want to go handle that?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll go handle that." I was like, "I'm
That's
taking
great.
lunch while I'm gone." And I
I
just
think
never went back. I felt bad, but I did tell them, I was like, "You know what? I just don't think this is for me. I'm so sorry."
that's fact. I think you got me
I
beat by a couple hours because this was like 10, 15 years ago, even probably longer than that. I applied to Target and I only did the orientation, right? Orientation was like probably 3, 4 hours, and it was like
mhm.
$25. And my first day I called out and said, "Nah, I ain't doing this." So I did the same thing to Target. I was not
I wasn't sure I had one. I wasn't sure I had one. I do.
right.
Somebody invited me to work at a nightclub. And I'm looking for a job, whatever. They say come to the nightclub, be a cook. And then they got me in there cleaning the doors and the club boy in the first hour.
Hour. Okay, you beat us.
Bro,
Hour. Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I sat around for an hour, then I was like 90. And it
Did
was
you
about
even
11
cook
o'clock at
any?
this time. I got no,
Did
I'm
you
out of
even
here.
cook anything, bro? Did
Bro.
you
The
do any
club didn't even
orders?
open. I don't think the
You
club
didn't
opened.
make it that far.
Oh Lord. Okay. That's what's up. So let me ask you, how's business in Alabama? So we're in Virginia. We kind of understand the market here a little bit. How
Mhm.
is the real estate market in Alabama? Is it booming? Is it catching up? I know, about a year ago and beyond, houses were going crazy. Everybody's buying everything up. Has it
Mhm.
slowed down? Like, what's the temperament today?
Yeah, like today it is slowed down. Like a year or two ago, like you said, we were in a heavy sellers market.
Right.
So with the pandemic, the government was helping people out by having extremely low interest rates. And it was an
Thanks.
influx of buyers during that time. Like everybody's getting rates 2.5, 3%. So everybody's trying to run and scramble and purchase at this time to where they're having to buy, 20, 30,000 over the asking price.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas now we've shifted back to a buyer's market. So houses are sitting on the market longer. You are able to get a house at asking price or below. You're able to ask sellers to pay something on your closing costs. You're not getting into a crazy bidding war. Like a year ago, people were waiving
Right.
inspections, like not even, getting the home inspected. They're paying over the appraised value. And you don't have to do that now.
It
Rates
was a
are
frenzy.
higher.
Yeah. Right.
Right, rates are higher, but you're also not buying and going into a home with negative equity because you paid 30,000 over what it was really worth just to get into the house.
Right. Right. So would you, so there's been talk of recent of some impending looming housing market crash. Do you subscribe to that belief? Do you feel like it's a possibility, or is that just FUD? You know what I'm saying? Like there's not going to be a crash.
No,
Everybody's
yeah.
fine. It's okay. Give us a little.
Yeah, I don't really see into that because when people say like, "Hey, I heard there's going to be a market crash," I asked them, I said, "What does that even mean? Like, what is a market crash?" And no one can
Right.
ever give me like a clear answer on what market crash means. Things may slow down, but at the end of the day, I feel like people are going to always buy homes. They're going to
Right.
always need somewhere to stay. But that's why I also try to do other, things just in case the market crashes, whatever that
Right.
would entail. I just don't ever see a period where people just stop buying houses completely, you know?
So go ahead, King.
I'm agree with her. I don't think so.
So I guess like when I hear market crash in housing, I feel like, so we understand there's so like I bought in 2020. I got hella equity now. If there was
Hmm.
to be a crash, right, the value of the homes would go down, and it could possibly go down to below what I owe, right? So that I would lose that equity, and then I might go under, I might go underwater. And then there's this whole thing about, banks calling in loans, right? If the crash comes down to a certain degree or so detrimentally, the banks start calling in loans like, hey, give us, so I don't know. That's what I think of when I hear market crash. So you saying
Yeah,
that's not realistic. That's not something to worry about. Banks calling
I
in
don't think it's
loans.
anything to worry about at all because, like, over history, you've seen houses appreciate in value. You haven't seen like a
Right.
major decline, to where your house value goes down. Even if that does happen, you just have to hang tight, stay in your home because it will eventually go back up. So if that happens, it's more so like a roller coaster thing because again, people are gonna still always be buying homes.
That's
Yeah.
true.
So
That's true.
you mentioned finding other ways, right, to get money or stay busy outside of your main thing, right? Is that where Soluxlife came from? And what is that? And like, yeah, talk about that for
Yeah, so that's just kind of like my business is full circle. I run real estate under Soluxlife, but I also have a Soluxlife podcast. It's kind of just a hobby for me. Of course, the real estate invest in flipping houses, but I also do content creation. So for small business owners that's looking to grow their business on social media, I also have clients that pay me to run their social media accounts and build
Mm.
business through that. And everything is becoming so digital these days. So you definitely have to have a social media presence if you want to keep up with today's time.
so social media managers are like creating content for them, or is it just like posting on like a later or another type of app for
Yeah, so it's different facets to social media management. Some people already have their content and they can just send it to me and they just
Mm-hmm.
need help being consistent and actually posting the content. Whereas I have other clients where I actually go and create the content for them. So like I'm working with a fitness trainer right now. I go through some of his sessions, I'll record the content, I'll send him like, okay, we're doing Motivation Monday, we're doing Tip Tuesdays, just so he's prepared and knows what we're going to record. And we'll record our content for the week and I'll post it for him. And this particular client I'm speaking about, I just started working with him last Monday. And on Sunday, he got his first client from TikTok, like a brand new page that I created. He may have like 18 followers on there now, but that turned into a paid client in less than 7 days.
That's dope. Seems like your service is paying for itself already.
Looks like it's doing something.
That's dope. That's dope. We need help with that stuff too. So like, we doing this podcast, we shoot episodes, we cut clips out. And then even us, it gets inundating when you have to try to schedule clips, put them out, post them. And not only that, you have different platforms. You got Instagram, you got Twitter, you got Facebook, you got TikTok, and then you're trying to tailor which one to do. Do I do them all? Do I just do these on this one or whatever? So yeah, it does get crazy in this day and age with content creation. Have you looked into, anything about automation? Like we started looking into this app called Zapier. I think that's how you say it. Zapier. It's like a content automation. So basically, what's it called?
This is not an ad.
Oh, they need. Hey, if they got referrals, we need to get that link before we put this out. But the link is going to be in the description. But it's pretty dope. We've mingled with it a little bit, right? So like it's not coding, but it's like you set up the post, what you want to do, and you tell it where it is and tell it where to go.
The day and time,
yeah. So it works pretty well. I just started getting into that. Is that something you looked into, or you just hand jam, do it yourself? Manual posting everything and like killing yourself, so to speak? Because for me, I could tell you it gets crazy sometimes.
Yeah, it does get crazy. I've heard of different apps like that and I've kind of used them in the past, but now I'm just kind of consistent. I have a particular time that I will make posts and do that because all content is not for every social media platform. So something that I would post on, let's say, Instagram, I wouldn't post that exact content on like Twitter per se. Because Twitter is short and concise, or on Instagram in the caption I might write a paragraph about what I'm talking about. But Twitter, I would write something and get straight to the point. Same for like LinkedIn. I wouldn't make the same post I put on TikTok, which is kind of unprofessional, that I would put on a very professional site like LinkedIn, where I'm trying to reach more business professionals. So it kind of plays a role. It just kind of depends what the content is, to where I would automate it. Like Instagram and TikTok, those can go hand in hand. You kind of post that same content on both. But when it comes to like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and things like that, you kind of want to be strategic when it comes to what you're posting.
It's funny. We haven't looked into LinkedIn. I'm not sure how good it would be because our podcast is called Figuring Shit Out. I don't know how that would work on LinkedIn. Being that we try to find business, CEOs, entrepreneurs, business-minded people. I don't know. I think we should try. What you think, King? You want to start?
I would say, man, think about it, because people who sell bud, people who sell beer, people who sell alcohol, people who sell toys, people who sell trinkets, they want to be in front of our audience, right? So that is not necessarily a suit and tie type of deal, right? Everybody ain't buttoned up around here. So yeah, I'm pretty sure there's somebody out there for it, but we probably got to tailor it to them, because there is a whole shit ton of suit and ties on LinkedIn too.
There is. And
but there are also so many businesses. So I think you guys' platform would do well on LinkedIn, especially since you're targeting like entrepreneurs and people that are business owners. You can kind of get that clientele from there.
Okay, I might do that for LP too. I don't know. I just never thought of. I use LinkedIn for my personal, as for the cybersecurity, my 9-to-5 career. But yeah, here we go. Yet another platform to put the
podcast
all
on. And that's all I see, bro. Just another platform.
There's another one, right?
Another one to schedule posts, try to come up with content, put posts.
Steal your attention. Steal your attention. That's the thing right here, man. Attention is the number one commodity right now.
Are you looking for a media agency that covers all the creative tasks that make a business successful? Lucid Perspective produces elegant, high-resolution graphics and logos, high-definition and 4K video, complete with treatment concepts and innovative editing. Lucid Perspective provides photography services such as fashion, advertisements, product or service, and aerial photography. We also help businesses build their brands from the ground up with complete campaigns that will make your business attractive to your target audience. We can bring your brand to the masses with our effective and strategic marketing campaigns to include sales funnels, eye-catching advertisements, breakthrough digital marketing through social media, and other digital avenues. Visit lucidperspective.com today. What other platforms are there? There's so freaking many. So that's good.
Like
so
there's Pinterest, there's a lot of things. And even your own personal website is very beneficial to your business. Posting blogs on your website kind of keeps you up in the algorithm for Google and like in their SEO ranks. So if you definitely own a business, make sure you have a website that you're frequently updating, whether that's like with blog or updated content. Like if y'all have a website for the podcast, frequently like upload like, hey, here's a new video, a new link, and that helps you in Google getting in front of more people.
Yeah, we got a website too. We post stuff 3 times a week up there. It gets crazy.
I'm talking about the business growth, like how you make money. Like I asked the young boy last week, like how do you make money? Like is it from the social media content? Is it from the real estate? You know what I mean? Like who's your bread and butter?
Yeah, my bread and butter is the real estate for sure. That's constant. That's something that I do day in and day out. The real estate investing, that takes a little more time to do a flip, get it to where it's in the position to sell. But once it sells, you're making a large lump sum of money with the flip. So like the real estate and the flip, and that's my bread and butter. Social media content, I do get paid off of that. But not as much as I do when it comes to real estate. So that's really like my main, like, okay, I got to do the real estate to keep this thing going.
Right. Have you done your first real estate? So you haven't done your first investment yet, have you?
Yeah, I have a flip that's currently on the market right now. So it was a property, a flip. Yeah, it was a renovation. So we bought a property for $90,000. Put some money into it, flipped it, got it looking good, and now it's currently on the market for $199.
Oh, that's dope. That's super dope.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're looking for a buyer right now, trying to get that thing sold.
Super dope.
How was the
Alabama? Yeah, Alabama popping like that. Is it Alabama, right? Okay.
Yeah. How was the renovation process like? How was that? Was it scary? Like spending money to do something and to hope on the back end to get it all back, right?
Right, absolutely. It wasn't too scary for me because I have a business partner. So my business partner, he does full-time real estate investing. So I kind of wanted to do my first deal with somebody that knows the ropes, knows what they're doing. The hardest part about it was pretty much just staying on top of the contractors, just making sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing in a timely manner. Just so you can kind of turn around and go ahead and sell the property. So yeah, we started this project back in June. And honestly, we thought this would have sold by now. It's supposed to have sold by now. It's been under contract, but like the day before it was supposed to close, the buyer backed out of the contract. So we're back on the market.
All right. So we talked to a few other real estate agents, and one of them was saying he's not necessarily a flipper. He likes to buy and hold and rent units out to build a cash asset flow.
Yeah.
Are you more of a flipper, like you want to get into the flipping business, or do you have the mindset or the desire to buy, hold, and then rent out and build cash asset flow? I keep saying it wrong. Cash flow assets.
Yeah. There it is. For me to do a buy and hold, I would have to get the property at a really, really good price. Because like I said, I worked in property management. So we're dealing with renters.
Right.
And that just kind of put a bad taste in my mouth, especially dealing with collections, because I see how far people will go. We had one client when I was working, they wanted to have their lease and they would have had to pay a couple $1,000s. And they're like, oh, we don't want to pay that. 2 months later, ironically, the house catches on fire. So people go to extreme lengths. And surprisingly, the owner of the home, they were okay. They're like, oh, it's okay. We have insurance on the home. But I would have been pissed, like, you burnt my house down just because you didn't want to pay the rent. Like,
oh God, what's he doing down there? Oh shit.
Right. But buying holds, it just depends. Long term, they're great. I know some people do buy and holds and they have like 50 to 100 properties. But for me to do a buy and hold, I would want a Section 8 property. One, because you're guaranteed your income from the government. So that's going to come in like clockwork. You don't have to do too much running around, chasing somebody to pay your rent. But also, you just have to kind of be available for maintenance and upkeep on those properties whenever you have an issue with the tenant. So not a bad
Right.
idea. Next, I do want to get into more of the short-term rentals like Airbnb.
Right.
So
Right.
I could see like more of a return in my money quicker than a buy and hold where I have like a long-term tenant for like a year. And I'm still, paying on the property. So like I said, I have to get the property at a really good deal for it to make sense for me.
Right. That makes sense. That makes sense. Whenever I get into, I'm probably gonna. I feel like I would be a buy and hold. But again, Virginia is probably a lot different than down there. And it's something about buying, putting a lot of money in and flipping. I guess it's nice, it's lucrative. You get influx of cash at a larger amount quicker, depending whenever you sell. But then you don't really, if you got to take that and invest it back into something else, right? To like continue on the cycle of investing and bringing cash in. So I don't know. I felt
Yeah,
like
but
I
the
felt like I had
great
the.
part about that, I
Mhm.
feel you can use other people's money when you flip houses. So you
True.
don't necessarily have to have the money. You can go to a hard money lender that will fund you buying the house and fund the renovation. And you just pay on that monthly until the property sells. Or you could have silent private investors. I've done some private investing on real estate deals where I may invest like $10,000 in the return I get like 15 back. So I made like 50%. I made $5,000 off of a $10,000, like just letting them hold and use my money for a
Mhm.
couple of months. So and you don't have to spend that much. Or you can even maybe find someone and do like $5,000 and make 2,500 if you're not ready to like put a big investment into a project just to kind of see how it goes. But it's always a risk because those numbers are projected on the home selling. But in this real estate market, things are going to sell. Like my business partner, I think the longest one he has had to sit on the market was maybe like 6 or 7 months. It was a lake house.
Oh
It
wow.
was kind of a costly investment, but it
Right.
eventually sold.
Speaking of
Okay.
risk, like what's give us a play that you took a big risk on and lost
I invested in an apartment rehab in Texas. It wasn't a huge risk, a couple $1,000s. And I was I was supposed to get paid on that investment. I still haven't got paid yet. I was supposed to get paid back in like July or August, and here it is, January.
All
I
right.
still haven't got paid. So at this point, I've counted it as a loss. If I make the money back, cool. If I don't, I mean, it's an investment. It's really nothing you can do about it because it's in the paperwork, kind of like this is a risk, this is an investment.
Right.
You
on?
may
Was
make
it
the
a
money, you
flip?
may lose it.
Was it a flip
Yeah.
or was it just a buy and hold type deal?
Yeah, they called it an apartment rehab, but this was more so like on the roofing side of it. So they're like
Okay.
renovating some apartments. And the excuse, as to why we haven't got paid yet was that the person that we invested the money in, he got ill, he had to go to the hospital, heart problems. So, he's out of the
Stressed over
hospital
there.
from what I know. So from what I hear, he's out of the hospital and back working. So I'm hoping that I actually, get my money back from that. But if I don't, I'll just count it as a loss.
Is that your first time investing outside of
The
Alabama too?
state. Right.
Yeah.
Yes, first and last.
There it is. They're like, oh, where's this lady at? Alabama? Oh, okay, word. That's what
Out
it
of here.
But
is.
no, but see, I got into it because my cousin, he invested with this same particular
Always the
investment or
cousin.
whatever it is. He lost his money too. Like we put our money. Like the first time he did it, he got paid. I saw the check and everything. He was like, "Oh, okay, we're good." So I was like, "Okay, I saw you did it with your money. We can put our money together, do like a bigger investment, get a bigger, portion back." But we haven't got paid. Like we're still. The person is still saying that we're going to get paid, but
It
when?
sounds like an
It's like
American Greed story because they always keep in contact with folks until they pull all those chips out.
absolutely. So
Hey, you got
hey,
the address. Go pull up. Go pull up on them.
I hate to take it to the streets, but I will.
Oh no, don't do it.
They probably like, they in Alabama. They ain't gonna come over here. You know what I'm saying? We
My
just keep
cousin, he's
living on.
actually in Texas, so yeah. I mean, we're gonna give him a couple more months, you know.
I think Cuzzo should pay you back. It's Cuzzo fault. I know
Yeah.
Cuzzo called him was like, hey, I got the deal for you, cuz.
But he did say, you know, he's working on a flip right now. He was like, when I get paid from this, I'm gonna give you your money back from the apartment rehab. So he's making it right. I'm not really tripping.
All right, we got you.
So
Okay.
I hope to get my money back one way or another.
Cool. So, what advice would you have for a first-time home buyer? Let's say somebody reaches out to you, they seem not confident, they want to buy a home, they don't know if they have the credit, they don't know if they have the income. What are some things, some tips you can provide to somebody who wants to buy, who you feel like you could probably help, and they probably can buy if they just do X, Y, and Z?
Yeah, I would say first thing first, take a look at your credit. There are so many free credit options. You can go online, freecreditreport.com. This is not an ad for them, but you can go on there and check your credit. Credit Karma. You want to check those 3 credit scores because most lenders will look at your middle score between the 3 credit bureaus. So kind of see where you are first. Kind of keep an eye on that. If you have any maxed out credit cards, try to pay those down. You want to have a good debt to income ratio so you can get the best rates possible. And you want to kind of keep your score here. I don't know where about everybody else, but I have lenders here in Alabama with a 640 credit score. You can, go a no down payment option. And plus, depending on the area you buy the home in, it may qualify for grant money. So I've had some first time home buyers say, hey, I don't have any money saved. Like, what can I do? But their credit was good. Their credit was in that 640 range, and they were able to buy with no money down. They didn't have to pay any closing costs because the grants covered that. And the grant money exceeded what they needed to pay for closing. So they're getting like $2,000 and $3,000 back from at closing from grant money. So definitely keep an eye on your credit, pay things down and speak with a professional. Don't try to do it on your own. So even if your credit isn't at a 620, 640 or what have you, have a professional to take a look at it because some lenders, some people have negative hospital bills on there, but some lenders like won't even look at hospital bills.
Right.
Like let us look at the credit and see exactly what it is you need to pay down and how much so we can get you in the position to purchase.
Right. And I think there's a new rule when it comes to the medical stuff. They're not reporting medical stuff anymore. At least that's what I heard. I don't know about past stuff, like if you already have had it on there, but maybe like present going forward, if you have medical bills and you default on it, it's not getting reported anymore. So
nice. Let me go book me a tummy tuck and not pay for it.
Yeah, I don't know where the cutoff is. I just seen articles here and there. It's like, if you have medical debt, if you have medical debt, if you have medical debt and it's, they're still going to try to collect it from you. But as far as reporting goes, it's not going to be there. So I think that's pretty dope. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's fine. Call me all day. I can block the number.
Hey, bro, one of my favorite lines is, they got to come get me.
You say that several times a day to me.
Bro, they got to come get me.
No, that's dope. That's funny. So,
but that's good though. Even with people with student loans, I have a lot of clients that come and say like, "Oh, I have so many student loans. It's messing up my debt to income ratio." So the first thing I ask them like, "Are you paying on them?" A lot of times they're like, they're in forbearance or they're deferred right now. I'm not paying on them. So I told them I say, "Hey, call them, take them out of deferment. Call and get yourself set up on a payment plan. You can get yourself set up on an income-based payment plan with your student loan. Now, I don't know what all they require for this, but I have had some clients, according to student loan debt, they take like 0.5% and use that as like your payment amount. So let's say somebody's 0.5%, they say each month they have to pay $250 a month. Once they get them set up on income base, I've had somebody get them set up to where they were paying $25 a month. So that's helping you out a lot in your debt to income ratio. Instead of you showing a $250 debt, you'd only have a $25 debt for your student loan.
Well, that's good. But I guess the con would be instead of paying your loan off faster, you'll pay that shit for 50 years.
You can pay that shit for 60 years anyway.
Yeah, you could be 100 still paying.
That's just up until you close. So once you close on the house, you can take them out of income base and start back paying on them or put them back in deferment, whatever you were doing. But my goal is to help you get into the house. What happens after that is beyond me.
I like her results oriented.
Right, exactly. Get the house, close on the house, then do whatever the fuck you want. But pay your mortgage though, right? Don't default on the crib, right? Pay the mortgage.
Yeah, morally do that, but again, at that point, it's beyond me. So I've got paid from the deal at that point. So, but yes, definitely pay your bills. You want to be a upstanding citizen.
That's true. That's true.
Do you have plans on growing that the Soluxlife outside of what it is now?
Let's talk about that. Yeah.
Yes. Hopefully in like 5 to 10 years, I plan to get my broker's license to where I can own my own real estate company. So I plan to turn Soluxlife into like a whole real estate brokerage and letting that just be that. And also helping people that may want to invest in the future or help people find, small deals that they can invest in to hopefully get started with their, career in real estate.
Nice. That's dope. And the social content creation, I think you said that's not necessarily not a hobby, but like that's like a side thing right now where you're just helping other business owners. Okay, that's pretty dope.
Yes, and that's fairly new. So I kind of just started doing that. I have 2 clients that I'm working with now consistently, and I have some other ones that have scheduled consultations with me. But my goal with that is to hopefully reach out to like small businesses around Birmingham, like restaurants, or maybe like a law firm or whomever that may not have a social presence, and say, hey, this will definitely benefit you. Help me help you grow your business. And companies like that, they have marketing budgets, so they can afford it. So I try not to set like a set rate, but a question I like to ask is, what is your budget? How much can you invest? And kind of go from there. But that's the goal with that. I don't want to overwhelm myself with the social media content, because it's a whole nother job. Like you really have to sit down and dedicate time to create the content, edit it, and post it.
It is
so right as of now, like my goal for this year is to have 10 consistent clients a month and really focus and help them, because if I overexert myself, I take on 20, 25 clients, I can't fully give you the work and the results that you would need to actually grow. So I want to actually help people, help them grow their business, and just take it to another level with the social media content.
That's a play too, helping small businesses in your local area get a social presence, because these businesses 20, 30, 40 years old. They don't care. Yes. They don't care. I'm profitable. I'm here. I'm doing well. Why you want me online? And then when somebody comes in and break it down to them why they should get online, and then actually provide the service, and then they see the results, they're like, then they tell everybody in town. Tell everybody in town, right?
Exactly. Especially like people, like I said, those businesses around 20, 30 years. Like this fitness trainer that I'm working with, he's been doing this 20 years. So he's kind of older. He's like close to 50. He's like, I'm on social media, but I don't like doing social media. I'd rather just hire somebody to do that. Like you younger people, that's y'all's thing. So I'm kind of
happy to pay for that.
Yes, I'm targeting like older clientele. Like both of my clients are like in their mid 40s. So they're just like, social media isn't my thing. I'll let you do what you do. Thank you. And I'll pay you.
That's a plan.
I love me a shut up and take my money niche.
Yes.
No, that's dope. That's dope. And a lot of times they don't even have a website. Like you try to pitch them a website, they're like, I don't need that. Why would I need that? And you're like, you've been in business 30 years. You're still around in this economy, right?
Let's
and
keep
you don't
it that
have
way.
A website. Like,
let's
bro,
keep it that way.
Yeah.
By the way,
you have to grow with today's time, because studies show that millennials and Gen X, Gen Z, what are they called?
Pretty much. Gen X, Gen Z, Gen Y, and I don't know what the new one is.
X, Y, Z, H, J, K, yeah.
Right.
But anyway, those people, their studies show that they're going to TikTok to look for information before Google. So if they're looking for a real estate agent, they're getting on TikTok. Last year, literally 90% of my clientele with real estate, people buying houses, came from TikTok and Instagram. People writing me on social media. So like I can market. I probably could sell way more if I got out there and actually door knock like they did back in the day, sending out newsletters. But social
Right.
media is completely free. It costs a lot of money to actually send out mailers and send things, through the postal service. Whereas I could post on TikTok, use a couple of hashtags, and boom, I've reached
Right.
X amount of people from the comfort of my bedroom. Just
And
me
it
on my
does,
phone.
yeah, and it does have more of a reach than those newsletters and the
Mm-hmm.
legacy media, legacy methods. But I find that shocking because like our is the older generation on TikTok like that? Like we got a TikTok, we just kind of made it. Like I
Mm-hmm.
really have, I don't have a personal one. I really had no intention of getting on TikTok, but I did it for the sake of the podcast. But I was not aware that home buyers are on TikTok looking for
Anybody's
real
on
estate
TikTok.
agents. Wow, that's crazy.
Yes.
I didn't
And
know
I've
that.
had older people that I wouldn't think would be on TikTok. And like one lady, she was like, yeah, my niece sent me your TikTok and said, hey, you need to check out this girl. She's in Birmingham. Here's her TikTok.
Are you new in town or need a fresh cut on the fly? Let me show you a convenient way to hire a mobile hair care pro now. Simply download the Cuddy app from the App Store. Create a profile and have access to professional mobile barbers and stylists in your area. The Cuddy app allows you to browse for hair care professionals 24/7. View their profile and share your location to find the nearest one. Once you've found the perfect pro with just a click of a button, have your professional meet you in a matter of minutes. This means no more worrying about running late, waiting for the next chair to open, or missing your appointment completely. Reclaim your valuable time and put your mind at ease knowing your hair care pro is on the way. Cuddy app is the only place to hire a hair care pro whenever you are ready, wherever you are. Cuddy app. Join the revolution today.
And like I had one video, it went viral.
Nice.
Couple 100,000 views. It was just me doing a house tour of a home in
That's dope.
Birmingham. Like, hey, this is what you can get for X amount of dollars. And it was crazy, like a crazy cheap price. It was like 150 or something. The house looked really, really good.
Nice.
And it took off. People started commenting. I actually sold that house to one of my clients. But it's just that, like, you just need that one post. You need that one post to get out there so you can kind of grow your following. But you also have to stay consistent. And I think that's what gets a lot of people. They're like, I'm posting.
Consistency is the key.
Yeah. And don't look at numbers and get intimidated, because just because somebody has a lot of followers doesn't mean they're making a lot of money. I know a lot of people that have thousands, tens, thousands of followers, but are those followers turning into paid clients? So my
Right.
goal with social media is to turn clients into paid customers, not to grow your following to 10,000 people. But like I said, this client that I just started working with, he, at the time he got that client, he had like 7 followers on TikTok. But now
Wow.
he has a paid client that's going to lock in and pay over $1,000 for, fitness training for the year.
Wow.
So don't get intimidated by the numbers. A lot of people do that. So people can buy followers. So
That's true
don't
too.
think just because a person has a lot of followers, they're making a lot of money.
That's
Right.
true.
So I guess that's why some of these states are banning TikTok then.
I didn't know there were states banning TikTok.
New Jersey,
I thought that was
Ohio.
that's because that's supposed to be some China thing. Like
It's
China own it,
but
and they
what you're saying, they go in there fast and they're going to Google, and it's like if they ban it at the state level, it's gonna be
that could be also. But I feel like now we got the ChatGPT shit. ChatGPT taking over Google, so that might be the next wave of whatever new industry, artificial intelligence, search engine, whatever you want to call it.
Build me a house. Tell her to build your house.
Right. See what he do. If you look at the ChatGPT, it's getting scary, bro. Because it's almost like taking human thinking out of the equations. Like you type it, ask it to do something, or ask a question, and it just, I don't know. There's like a brain or mind behind it. I don't know. I don't really understand it all the way.
Wow.
I can't spell, and so autocorrect been making me stop thinking, bro. So
facts.
I know it's no reason for people to be posting stuff with, misspelled words these days. With these phones, you can just talk into it. If it's a word I don't know,
and I still do it. I'm still that guy. My posts get edited.
Yeah. No, this is definitely a digital age. You know what I'm saying? Information is out there. There's all type of new, innovative, creative ways to grow a business. It's almost at this point like there might be a lot of competition, right? And it might be oversaturation, but at the same time, it's like that's what everybody's doing. So if you're not in it, you know what I'm saying, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot as far as technology goes. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, because people buy into you as a person, so they want to see you. I've had clients that say, "Hey, I looked at your social media. You seem cool. You know, you're a mom. I'm a mom. You know, I like your content. I want to work with you just because you know what I've seen online." I had a client. She was on Big Brother, An Amazing Race.
Okay.
Yeah, she moved from LA to Birmingham, and she found me on social media, wrote me an Instagram
Dope.
message, searching a hashtag. She was like, "Hey, I love your content. I saw you're a mom. I definitely want to work with you." And she ended up buying a house. They're living here now,
Dope.
and they're actually thinking about selling and upgrading. So you definitely want to keep a social media presence, because if you're out of sight, you're out of mind. You want people to
That's
say,
true.
"Hey, who do I know that sells real estate?" Well, hey, there's this girl, Kristen. She's posted every single day about real estate. You know, you want to be the first person on someone's mind in your particular industry when it comes to posting on social media. You want to keep that consistency.
Keep the consistency, market yourself, brand yourself, and then build a reputation on your name. Right? That's
Yes,
the way to go. So
absolutely.
I'm glad you brought up something else. Being a mom. So how do you juggle the family life with all this career, all this ambition? Like, how do you do it? What is the balance? Because it's just some people need to hear, some people need to know it's possible to do both, right?
Yes. And I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that it's easy, because it's not, especially being a single mom. I got divorced a few years ago. So I have a 9 and a 4-year-old. And I never like saw this being my life, being a
Right.
single parent. So I had to deal with like going through a divorce and itself. That was a lot that had to go through. But then having a kid and being self-employed, you can do it. You just kind of have to find balance. One thing, time management is very,
Thanks.
very important. Before this year, my son, which is now 4, but for the past 2 years, I took him out of daycare. So I'm a single full-time mom and a
Thanks.
full-time realtor. So he's coming to showings with me every day. He's coming into the office with me. Like literally, he just became a part of my life. Even to the point now, if I go into the bank, they'll be like, "Hey, where's Grant?" Like he's just cool now, like that guy, like he's in pregame.
Right. That's dope.
But with that, I did find myself just like grinding and grinding and grinding. You know, you're trying to get to the money. It's nonstop. It's 24/7. So it was to the point like I was here home with them physically, but mentally I was checked out. I was still at work all day, every day. So I feel like I wasn't showing up to them as a parent. But now I actually try to set aside time, like tomorrow, Friday, we have movie nights. So I say like,
Dope.
"Hey, we're gonna have movie nights. You know, the phone is going to do not disturb. I'm not gonna respond to emails, text, calls, because clients, they act like you don't have a life. They will text and call you at 10 o'clock at night and be
Thanks.
expecting a response. But you have to set those boundaries in your business to where you say, "Hey, after 6 o'clock, you know, 7 o'clock, I'll get back to
Right.
you at 8 in the morning," because at that point, you know, I'm turned off. I'm into a full-time mom at that point. That's like my second job, literally, like cooking,
Bonnet
cleaning,
comes
and
on.
helping with homework. Right. But just really finding that balance, time management, and just allowing time for yourself. I was speaking with someone on one of my podcasts, and she was a therapist, and she was saying, like, you know, single mom, with him being with you 24/7, you
Right.
know, that's usually not normal, because the normal person, they have that 8, 9 hours where they're at work away from
Right.
their kids. You don't, like, you can focus on whatever it is you're doing. But I had to, you know, find
Adjust,
that
yeah.
balance between just, you know, being a mom for him and still trying to be active and productive in my business as well.
That's dope. That's commendable. That's dope. And yeah, people need to, you know, a lot of people might be in the same situation and feel overwhelmed, but it's good. People need to hear that it is possible. Like you said, time management is probably the most important thing with that balance. You know what I mean? And I think that's pretty dope. People need to hear that. So,
And take time for self-care if you don't do anything else, whatever that may mean for you for me, my self-care, I'm not a big TV person. So like my self-care thing is I'll set aside time to just lay in bed and watch something on Netflix. Or I'll go get my hair and nails done. Like I love going to get like a manicure and pedicure, but I take that as like my self-care routine where like I try to do it while the kids are at school. It's where I just have sometimes to clear my mind because it's so easy to get overwhelmed. Like I was feeling very overwhelmed the other day because I'm back in the gym heavily. So I'm, you know, trying to work out, trying to get my body right. You know, I started rapping. I'm starting a music career. So
let's go. Hold on. We should start living with this. No.
Right.
You gotta run this back, bro.
Y'all have to bring Jennez back on. That's my rap name. You'll have to bring Jennez back on. Interview her.
I was a musician like 5 lifetimes ago. I had a group that was like me. I was DJ, manager, all that stuff. There's stuff on me online. I can't get rid of it because I lost access to the page. I'm not gonna tell y'all what it is. But
you gotta report that, bro.
Right.
I try to get access back to it. I don't have it, so it's on there. Unless the internet just dies, it's gonna be up there. But I bet y'all won't find it. But anyway, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, so even with that, like now, like I'm really taking it serious. It's not just like anything that I'm doing. So like I have a team. We're getting ready to start shooting music videos. That's why I'm in the gym heavily, so I can look my best when it comes to that. So that's just like another thing added to my plate on top of the real estate, you know, finding time to get in the studio, you know, trying to make more money so I can pay for, you know, videos and all. This is not cheap at all. So that's like another thing that I'm
and you
gotta
be consistent with that too.
Absolutely.
No, that's dope. I didn't know that. That's pretty dope. I'm gonna be looking out. Was it Jennez? Is that your rap
name?
Yes,
Jennez. I do have a song now. It is on, you know, all your music platforms. It's called Money Drippin. So, you know, go check that out.
I'm writing it down.
It's spelled Jennez. So Money Drippin by Jennez. Go check that out.
Thanks. Okay, that's dope. That's what's up. That's a little surprise. Like we talking real estate.
I didn't see that coming.
I rap too.
Like, right. Wait till you hear the song. A lot of people can't believe it. They're like, "There's no way you rap." I was like, "Go listen to my song." They're like,
if YouTube wants to whack, we put it at the end when YouTube whack.
Yeah, we had So when we first started the podcast, we like music. We're music fans. We did music breaks, and we would like have a break in the middle and play a song. It was local people or people that we know personally.
That wasn't super famous. Yeah.
Right. You know, a few of them have presence and they have their stuff, you know, in the system or whatever. But like YouTube hit us copyright infringement, copyrighted it. So we stopped doing it because every time we did a music break, it would hit us with a copyright thing. So we stopped doing it. So that's what he was saying. We will put your song in this, but it'll probably pop up, say, "Hey, you can't do that." So that's all. That's what.
Well, if they're listening, they have full permission from the owner that owns the copyrights that they can post this song.
You heard that, YouTube. You heard it. So
get off our back.
No, that's what's up. That's dope. But yeah, that's what's up. This is a dope conversation. I appreciate it. This is pretty dope.
Yeah.
Now I'm saying you got any words for the people out there and let them know how they can find you.
Yes, you can find me on social media. My name is Krispin Jennez, and I'll spell that. That's Krispin, Jennez, Jennez. That should pop up on most social media platforms. If you're looking for me on Facebook, it's Krispin Watson. Or you could just go on my website. That's Soluxlife.com. That's SOLUXLIFE.com. And no matter what state you're in, if you're interested in purchasing a home, I can help you. I have referral partners in all 50 states. And if you're even thinking about becoming a realtor, I would love to speak with you. I do have mentees that work under me that are getting into the real estate field, and I can help you in that facet as well.
All right. That's super dope. Thank you so much. We will let you know when this drops. We'll cut out the clips. We'll tag you in all those social media platforms. Yeah, no, but thank you so much. It's definitely dope. We definitely appreciate it. We're going to be checking out for you. I'm going to check out the song.
I'm about to play the joint right now, too.
Yes, right. Money on me like I'm dripping.
All right. Well, thank you so much. You have a good night, and we'll see you on the side.
All right. Nice meeting you.
All right. Thanks, you guys. Bye. Nice to meet you. Bye.